The crowd was a living storm, roaring, flashing, trembling with energy. Cameras zoomed in, lights blazed, and the air pulsed with the rhythm of destiny. In the center of the ring stood a woman whose name carried both legacy and fire: Arissa LeBrock, daughter of Hollywood royalty, heiress to a martial arts dynasty, and now the rising storm of the combat world. But tonight wasn't just another fight. Tonight was the night she would carve her name into eternity. The bell hadn't rung yet, but the world was already watching. Arissa's eyes locked on her opponent. Her heartbeat slowed. Every sound faded. In that silence, she heard her father's voice. Control your breath. Control your mind. The body follows. Then ding, the fight began. Arissa LeBrock was born into a world where strength wasn't optional, it was inherited. Her mother, Kelly LeBrock, was the embodiment of grace and beauty. Her father, Steven Seagal, was a master of martial arts and discipline. From the moment she could walk, Arissa was surrounded by the scent of dojo mats and the echo of sparring gloves. But Arissa wasn't content to live in the shadow of her parents. She wanted her own story, her own scars, her own victories. The world saw her as the Jiu-Jitsu Heiress, but she saw herself as a warrior in the making. At age 10, she was already sparring with adults. At 15, she was competing in amateur tournaments. At 18, she was breaking bones and breaking expectations. Her father once told her, "Legacy is not what you inherit, it's what you build." Those words became her creed. Her first professional fight was supposed to be easy. The crowd underestimated her. Hollywood princess, they whispered. Daddy's girl. But when the bell rang, Arissa unleashed a storm. Her movements were poetry in motion, fluid, fierce, and fearless. She dominated the first round. But in the second, her opponent caught her off guard with a brutal knee to the jaw. The world spun. Blood filled her mouth. The crowd gasped. For a moment, she saw darkness. Then she remembered her mother's words. Strength means nothing without heart. She rose. She fought back. And with a spinning armbar that seemed to defy physics, she forced her opponent to tap out. The crowd erupted. The internet exploded. The heiress hook was born. Fame came fast and heavy. Every interview circled back to her parents. Every headline mentioned her last name before her first. Arissa wanted to be known not as a daughter of legends, but as a legend herself. She left Los Angeles and flew to Rio de Janeiro to train under Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu masters. There, she learned humility, the kind that comes from being thrown to the mat by someone half her size. She learned patience, discipline, and the art of control. Her coach, Mr. Paulo, saw something in her. You have your father's power, he said, but your mother's heart. That's your weapon. Those words became her mantra. Months later, an envelope arrived. Inside was a golden card embossed with a single phrase, the Ring of Destiny. It was the most prestigious and brutal tournament in the world. No weight classes, no mercy. Only warriors. Arissa accepted without hesitation. The arena was a cathedral of chaos. Fighters from across the globe gathered, each with something to prove. As Arissa entered, the announcer's voice thundered, introducing from Los Angeles, California, the Jiu-Jitsu Heiress, Arissa LeBrock. The crowd roared. Cameras flashed. But Arissa's focus was razor sharp. Her first opponent was Konya the Cobra Suthida, a Muay Thai champion known for her lethal kicks. The bell rang. Konya attacked with a flurry of strikes. Arissa absorbed the blows, waiting for her moment. Then, like lightning, she slipped under a punch, grabbed her opponent's arm, and executed a flawless takedown. The crowd went wild. But Konya wasn't done. She broke free, landing a brutal knee to Arissa's ribs. Pain shot through her body, but she refused to fall. She countered, locking in a triangle choke. The seconds stretched like eternity. Then dash tap. The bell rang. Victory. The moment was electric. The crowd chanted her name. Commentators called it the submission of the year. Within hours, the clip dominated every platform. Fans called her the Queen of the Ring. But Arissa didn't celebrate. She sat backstage, ice pack on her ribs, eyes closed. She wasn't thinking about fame. She was thinking about the next fight. A promoter approached her. "You've got something special," he said. "Not just skill story. The world loves a fighter with fire." He offered her a contract that could change her life. But Arissa hesitated. She didn't want to be a brand. She wanted to be a warrior. Training for the next round pushed Arissa to her limits. Her body ached, her mind wavered, and her spirit was tested. Her mother visited one evening, bringing homemade food and quiet encouragement. "You don't have to prove anything to anyone," Kelly said softly. Arissa smiled faintly. "I'm not proving anything. I'm becoming something." Her father called later that week. His voice was calm, steady. "Remember, Arissa, the fight isn't in the ring. It's in the mind." When they're first, those words echoed in her head every time she hit the mat. The semifinals arrived. Arissa faced Natalia the Iron Bear Kovic, a powerhouse wrestler with a reputation for breaking bones. For 2 rounds, Natalia dominated. Every escape was met with another takedown. The crowd began to doubt. Commentators whispered that maybe the Heiress had finally met her match. Then came the turning point. In the 3rd round, Natalia went for a ground-and-pound finish. Arissa, bloody but unbroken, saw an opening. She twisted, trapped Natalia's arm, and transitioned into a reverse armbar. The crowd rose to their feet. Natalia resisted, screaming in pain but then tapped. Arissa collapsed to her knees, tears mixing with sweat. She had done it. She was going to the finals. The championship match of the Ring of Destiny arrived. Arissa faced her toughest opponent yet, a world champion known as the Viper, a fighter with unmatched speed and precision. The arena was packed, the energy electric. As the bell rang, both fighters clashed like titans. Every strike echoed through the arena. Every move was a test of will. Midway through the fight, Arissa took a heavy hit that sent her staggering. The crowd gasped. Blood trickled from her lip. But then she smiled. That smile became the hook that defined her career. It wasn't arrogance. It was defiance. It was the moment she embraced her destiny. She launched a counterattack, chaining together a series of moves that left her opponent stunned. Then, with perfect timing, she executed her signature move, the spinning armbar. The crowd erupted. Tap out. Arissa LeBrock had done it. She was the champion. After the fight, Arissa stood in the center of the ring, championship belt in hand. The crowd chanted her name. Cameras flashed, but her eyes were distant. She wasn't thinking about victory. She was thinking about the journey, the sweat, the pain, the doubt, the fire. In her post-fight interview, she said, "Destiny isn't given. It's earned one fight at a time." Those words echoed across the world. Months later, Arissa opened her own training academy, the Ring of Destiny Dojo. Her mission was simple: to teach the next generation that strength comes from within. Students from all backgrounds came to learn not just martial arts, but resilience, respect, and purpose. Arissa became more than a fighter. She became a mentor, a symbol of empowerment. Her story inspired documentaries, books, and millions of fans. But for Arissa, the real victory was seeing her students step into the ring with the same fire she once carried. Years later, when asked what kept her going, Arissa smiled and said, "Every time I step into the ring, I'm not fighting my opponent, I'm fighting my limits." That was her secret. That was her destiny. And as the lights dimmed and the crowd roared once more, the legend of the Jiu-Jitsu Heiress lived on, not as a story of fame, but as a testament to the power of heart, heritage, and unbreakable will. The ring is more than a battlefield, it's a mirror. It reflects fear, courage, and truth. Arissa LeBrock didn't just fight opponents, she fought expectations, legacy, and doubt. And in doing so, she proved one eternal truth: destiny isn't written by bloodlines, it's written by those who dare to fight for it.